Welcome back to another episode of Nako. I am your host, Kuya, still trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. And to my left, we got...
That was it?
Yeah. And then to my left, we got my brother co-host, Kuya, Vince in the house. Screen flip.
What up, what up, what up?
And then to my right, you guys always hear his voice, but you can never see his face. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Kango the Mango on the production desk. Dude, okay. There's a lot to talk about. Dude, her fucking face.
Dude, her lips in that picture almost match your shirt. You're very vibrant today.
I wanted to wear my new shirt today. I got
Nice.
this one from One Bone.
Oh, did you?
Yep. One Bone. Make sure you guys use
One
that code
Bone?
24K. You 15% off. Yeah, I got this here, and yeah, I do feel very vibrant.
Your hair matches your shirt right now. Like it's
Really?
it's like your shirt's loud, and then you have like this like almost pompadour thing at the top of your hair.
Antonio. My name is
Yeah,
Fabuloso.
Looks good.
Fabulous.
My name is Fabuloso. Montinos Parada Casa Casada Damananda
Ooh.
Menudo.
Menudo? Fuck.
Dude, so I've been thinking about how I wear my headphones. I've noticed that when I edit, my headphones are like this.
Oh.
Nobody,
You got a big head.
I don't even recognize it. And sometimes I wear it when I'm gaming like this.
Oh, you're saying that sometimes when we were recording yours,
When we're filming, like if you go
I don't
back,
notice it that
it's like pretty far forward.
Mm.
And then I noticed it recently when I've been playing Call of Duty. My headphones will go and like start falling. What the fuck? I don't know why I wear my headphones so freaking far forward, dude.
Just
I
commit.
think I'm trying to I don't want like that bump.
I think it's like you're like trying to the gamer head or whatever.
Yeah, I don't want that Tyler
Just
one.
commit to the Cyclops. Just
that could be it.
Gene, where are you, Gene? Wolverine, leave me the fuck alone.
Where are you? Gene, I still love you.
Dude, okay. We had some excitement, Vince, you and I, about a recent video game release that we were waiting for.
You guys were fucking. I don't know. Did you open up the internet before that, or did you just like see? Were you
No,
like,
dude, like what they showed us and what they advertised was open world MMO survival game.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been wanting a good survival game, which Enshrouded is still coming out next month.
Yeah,
And you actually got to play that.
So sick. Just the
Yeah.
demo, just the little pre-release amount that they had was sick.
Yeah. The day before was a game was being developed for apparently 7 years by a team called Fantastic.
I don't believe that.
And
Maybe parts of it.
7 hours.
yeah. And then and they released the game and advertised it as a open world MMO survival game.
Yeah.
People want a new survival game because we'll have very many great ones that sound like that. And then it was the most wished for game, wish list game on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
And then they took it down. Apparently to copyright issues, they didn't get the name trademarked or something like that. And they said, well, we're going to take it down. We're just going to work on it further, blah, blah, blah. So then people started getting like cold feet about it. They're like, well, why did you guys take it down? This is kind of weird, but hopefully they are working on the game because apparently what they did with Prop Night, they released a game called Prop Night before this, and then just like stopped updating the game and like stopped caring about it.
Yeah.
They just kind of took the people's money and then just went on to the next project. So that's what everybody was afraid for with this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the game came out last Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
the 7th. And lo and behold, it wasn't what everybody thought they were getting. It was an extraction looter game.
Yeah, instance based, not open world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was. I mean, there are great open world survival games out right now, and they've been out for a while, but they're like missing some aspects. And the way that this game was initially advertised, it was going to fill those gaps.
They just didn't do it.
They just didn't deliver what they initially said, and then of course
There are people who are still playing it too that are like, oh, well, I like extractions,
Sure,
and
yeah.
I like stuff like this. It's like it reminds me of The Division if it was Tarkov, if it was not
you go.
finished.
There you go. Yeah. Which is fine if you're into that style of game. But
yeah,
wasn't what we were looking for. It wasn't what we were hoping for. So
yeah. So that happened, and then did you see the news today? What they released?
oh, what happened?
The whole statement. They shut down the.
They shut down the studio.
Damn.
And then they said the money that we got from the game, we're just going to use it to pay off our
Employees
and investors.
Damn.
So it was a cash grab, and you guys were very close to one. You were like trying to convince everyone to buy it. You're like, "Oh, let's try it." Let's try. I'm like, I don't think it's very good.
Well, I was skeptical at first, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give it a try if it's not like too extraction-y. But the more I watched Dr. Disrespect play it, I was like, this is just a
That guy
fucking
was
extraction.
shilling. That dude was shilling the fuck out of it. He was like,
Yeah, but
"This
see the
is
same
just
like
fucking
other
great.
streamers
I
who are
love
still
it."
playing it are still shilling the fucking, and I guarantee you they didn't get any bags for this.
I don't know what kind of like
These
mindset
extraction streamers are just like they're like, oh, I love it, and it's like, okay, that's cool, but like, it's not. There's a reason why it's negative. Is because it's not like you promised us DayZ and you gave us Tarkov.
I don't even think it's like because of just what it was like. Oh, because like okay, say they fucking make it, oh, it's not open world, whatever. Maybe it's a trash game that's broken and like every way. There's like millions and millions of different things you can look up where people are like the second one of the game, opening it up and like falling through the world, or like
Yeah, I saw that bug
turning
on
into
Twitter.
like those skibbity whatever toilet head things, like their fucking model is like blowing up and like running around. Like,
Well, and the studio was like, guys, wait for us to give an update so we can fix these bugs. And now they're just like, guys, we're just shutting down the studio. And then they said the servers will remain active, but we're shutting down the studio. This has been a flunk for us, and they're not even trying to fix it. So it just confirms what everybody was worried about.
What was the studio called again?
Fantastic.
fantastic.
Based out of
without
where?
the A.
Do you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
But they,
unfortunate.
I've watched a lot of I followed it a little bit, went into it, and the entire map is like a recycled asset from like an Unreal Engine pack that you can just buy off the internet for like $50.
Really?
The whole map, all of the guns and like
Damn.
gun sounds, everything is just straight preloaded assets. They did no custom work. The only custom thing they did is built the hub zone or whatever, like where you go sell stuff and all that, and that even is just insanely broken. Like
They worked a little bit on that, and then they woke up the night of the 6th, and they're like, "Shit, I got homework due tonight."
Yeah.
like
And
that's
they're
so
like, "All right, I gotta fucking cram this shit in. What can I buy? What can AI help me? Chat GPT, can you generate a thing?"
Jesus. Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty Angel bought it.
Oh damn.
Did he refund it?
I don't know if he refunded
Yeah,
it.
that's the biggest thing for me is like people are just ridiculously negative. It's like you can give feedback and then just simply refund, but the way that the Discord was getting handled and like how people were just going off, it's just like you don't have anything better to do. Like we get it. Like you dislike the game. Great. Refund your money. Leave a thumbs down or whatever on Steam. Cool. Move the fuck on. But people kept like hammering.
Yeah, that's what the mods were saying. I guess the devs were modding the Discord, and they were just like, we couldn't even work on the game because the Discord was getting blown up. And it was just like, then just ignore the Discord, dude.
It seems like y'all don't want to work on the game to begin with, so don't try to let that be the scapegoat.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I think with any game nowadays, it's gonna be complete toxicity at the beginning, especially if nothing's perfect. Which I don't understand why people are expecting a perfect game from on release, because
Before it wasn't slated as an early release too. It was slated as like a full game.
but it doesn't matter
early
if it says
release.
early release or not. In my opinion, it's that's
It should matter though. Like,
Yeah,
Why?
It should.
why.
It should matter because if it says
hard-
early, because if it doesn't say early release, that means it's polished.
I understand that,
There's
but
most-
we
there's-
grew up on games getting released, like Call of Duty. There weren't perfect Call of Duties that used to get released. They were really, really well done, obviously, because of amazing.
I'd say they were pretty perfect. I'd say
but
that
there were
growing
still
up,
bugs. There were still bugs. There were still things that they had to go in and fix.
not to the level of this.
not to this level.
I understand that, but I'm saying when you're expecting complete perfect, you're just telling yourself.
No, there's a
"I'm gonna let
reason.
down."
There's a reason why games go gold, and they say this is a gold release because they say that means it's polished. There's a reason why games don't go into alpha or beta or early access is because when they say we're gonna release this as an early access game, that means they haven't finished it.
Right.
And so this isn't the full release, but they just want to get it out there so they can start making the money.
Yeah,
Like,
but nothing's ever finished
but
nowadays, is what I'm saying.
yeah, but there are games that do come out finished, but like you can't compare it to what we had when we were growing up, because what we had growing up were games that were not 30 gigabytes games. They were fucking 10 megabyte games on cartridges that were like, sure, it's gonna be buggy because it's a fucking block game, like it just looks like it's low resolution blocks moving around. But like now, with the amount of people that have to go into creating a game like Call of Duty or creating a game like this, where like not only do they have to worry about like bugs, but then they got to worry about server issues, because this is the bullshit thing, is every game now requires like online access.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like even single player games, like why?
Yeah, that's
You can't even play
I'll never
player game
understand
without
that.
having
That
you
doesn't
know.
make sense to me.
So like it shouldn't matter. It should matter if it says early access or not, because if it doesn't have the early access thing, at least then it's not gonna have as many bugs. But when it's like when bugs happen like that, that means that the team has already kind of prepared themselves in a sense to be like, okay, well, here comes a patch tomorrow, or here comes like when a game is in early access, they are not ready to release this at all. So they know that there's going to be consequences, and they're going to have to fucking work on this shit for days, weeks, a month to drop a patch to fix it. And so like that's why a lot of games stay in early access, is just because they've been working on it for so long. Like, shit, we need to just release this because one, our investors are probably fucking getting unhappy that we're not making any money from this. But it's a lose-lose situation.
Yeah.
And especially because there's time crunches, and like studios and the employees aren't getting paid enough, and blah, 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 all kinds of factors go into it. But when it doesn't say early access, I would expect a pretty polished game. Not a perfect game. I'd expect a pretty polished game. When it says early access, I don't expect it to be very great at the start, like at all.
I think, like, as much as I agree, Vince, that people are overly negative about things, like, we shouldn't let just like the gang of negativity kind of influence the decision. But this was like kind of warranted because it was extremely bad. Like there is like merit to the feedback and whatever you want to call it that they gave, like,
and the track record.
The track record, like everything points towards like these people just making a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
We can't like be like, oh well, maybe it's good, and then you just end up giving them more money, and like they've achieved what they wanted to do, which was like a quick dump, like pump and dump. They make like some play test with some preloaded assets. They sell it for $40. They sell 200K copies, whatever it was,
right?
And they cash out, and that's that. Like if we are overly like nice to these developers to where you're like, oh, let me just try it anyways, like, oh, maybe it's like that. I get that if there was like a legitimate kind of want from the developer to like make something good, but given all of the things together, like as a whole, it just doesn't look good. There's no way that they had like the right intentions when making the game. Like when they were, I believe they actually were trying to just scam people, like just get their money. I don't think that they had any.
When you say something like they had pre-made textures and stuff that could be bought in like a marketplace,
it's just free, like not some of them are like free assets you can go download. Like if you guys wanted to go make a game right now, you could like download that shit and load it into your like little whatever.
Yeah, that's wild to me. That's wild to me that they had that. And like of course that's all gonna get figured out after everything. I mean, even right before we left, I was watching somebody playing it. And mainly just to see like what's going, like is there a player base with it?
Sure,
Like, there's still people playing it, and it's just gonna die out eventually. Which is why I'm excited about Enshrouded, because you actually had a chance to play that one.
Yeah, Enshrouded was dope, and they had like a limited timer on how much you could play in that early access little bit.
Did you get like selected for it, or how did you get the?
Yeah, I mean, you had to like sign up through Steam specifically, and then it like became downloadable. But yeah, that was they had so much available. It looked beautiful.
Is it like a zombie thing, or what's the?
It's more like monsters. So it's like there's like wildlife and stuff, but then there's things that get kind of like mutated from the shroud. I think it's what they refer it to as. And those areas are pretty crazy. But the building in this game was really dope right off the bat. Even in the demo, it was very cool. Like the cooking mechanic is different from other survival games. Visually, they had so much just out there in the open world to just look at, simply look at. Yeah, look at those screenshots. I mean,
it looks pretty. Like,
the different weapons that you can see people wielding and using and casting,
like
the talent tree.
A fantasy kind of thing. Where
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, like spells and stuff. So that's one. This is one thing that survival games don't have, is like a talent tree.
Yeah.
That shit. I mean, there kind of are in terms of like learning trees, but like specifically talent trees like that, no. But yeah, you could do bow and arrow. You can do melee, spell casting. The building looks sick. Yeah, everything about this game so far has looked very, very positive. So I'm definitely gonna try this one again.
That's next month, right?
Yeah, the 26th or the 24th. Yeah, planned release date. So of course it could get kicked back, but
I mean, if they kick it back, I hope they, again, that's like
it's better
you
to
hope
kick it
that
back.
you hope that it's for the better of the game and not what Fantastic did
Right.
for a whole
And
year.
What is the developer?
Keen Games.
Keen Games.
GmbH.
Yeah. So I don't know.
They made Portal Knights is their big shit that they did.
Yeah, pretty good thumbs ups on a lot of that too.
I don't know. It's hard to ain't nothing beating Roblox nowadays and Fortnite.
Remember when we
Call of
went?
Duty.
Was it you and I? I feel like it was you and I who went on like Microsoft Word or Microsoft Store and just started reviewing like Roblox and Minecraft and shit.
I think we did do that. at some
We
point.
put up like some stupid reviews like
Just trying to fuck it up.
just
Roblox
just
saved
like
my
to
life.
hype it
We
up.
couldn't,
Yeah.
Roblox. I would have been dead. One day I was walking through the street and I fell and it broke my fall. A copy of Roblox. Like,
Stupid.
Yeah, like I went on a date with this girl and asked her if she wanted to play Roblox, and she left me, but found out 3 weeks later she was pregnant. And boy, did I dodge a bullet! Thanks, Roblox.
Oh,
we did do some shit.
Okay, so I wrote a couple things down.
uh-oh.
One of them was, hey King, I feel like you'd have more experience. You would have more experience because you used to work for DoorDash. And you used to be very
drive for DoorDash.
yeah, and used to drive for DoorDash, and used to be very
Fucked up.
no vocal about like not getting tips,
Oh yeah.
right?
Oh.
What would constitute somebody not getting a tip, or a low? Okay, let's say a low, like a low rating.
So I think on DoorDash, like I don't know how they do it now, but before it was like they had some kind of weird revenue share where like the price of the stuff, like you got somewhat of a tip, and then like it was no matter what you got a little bit, but you get like whatever they leave you, but then they could modify it afterwards. So people would put like $6 or $7 or whatever, and then you'd be like, oh fuck yeah, and you'd go do the delivery, and then you'd get back afterwards, and they would like modify it to 0. And
Ooh, I've never done that. I've never. I didn't even know you can modify it. So
Yeah,
I
you
always
still-
just
I
tip
think you
like
still
a
can.
whatever, like a $9, whatever.
you can, yeah,
I know some people who tip really low at the beginning on purpose, and they're like, you know what? They saw that they were going to get a low tip, and they still gave me my food. It was still like, timely, and there were no issues. I'm going to modify that to the maximum amount that, that's suggested.
Really?
Yeah, I know people that do that, and it like they have really good experiences with their stuff. Me personally, the only time I would modify it lower or take it all away, which I don't think I have done, is if your food's like eaten, some of it's gone. Like it's pretty clearly there's a meme floating around, but it's like the Uber Eats driver like texts the guy, he's like, I left your food at the door, smiley face. And the guy's like, okay, thank you. And he goes, and he took a picture of the chicken nugget he bit out of. He goes, I take a bite. And that's all it says. It makes me laugh every time. But like
I
shit like
take a
that.
bite.
Yeah. Shit like that. That's where I was like, okay, yeah, you
Okay.
fucked up.
Okay, so the reason that I wrote this is because I ordered from I'll usually order from DoorDash if I want like soup or something. Like if I want like a good soup with like a nice sandwich or something.
Oh, I thought you were
That's like the worst thing to order though, because they don't ever package it correctly. It's cold by the time you get it. Like,
I mean, like I get like my stuff from Wildflower. Have you ever ordered from Wildflower? But it's pretty damn good. They make good sandwiches, but like
I thought you were saying you're dodging the judgment of supersizing your order by ordering on a DoorDash. You said
no.
I'm gonna order
so-
super something.
But so here's the thing. I feel like okay, so I don't know if this is I'm just about to out myself. I never modify tips. Like they keep the full tip that I
Sure,
give them.
yeah.
And, like, I'm like here, like I always do the 20% or whatever tip,
Right.
and I'm just like I'll leave it at that. They can keep it. I don't care if like they fuck stuff up. But like if they mess up, like something common sense, like outside of my door is a chair. Okay.
Oh, you have instructions.
Little wooden chair. I don't have instructions. I just feel like it's common sense. Okay. That right outside my door is a chair. When they deliver it, most of the time they just put it on the chair, take the picture, go.
Nice.
Right? Cool. I could just open my door, grab it from the chair, go. The other day, not thinking, I open my door and I hear motherfucker puts my fucking
that
bag
shit's annoying.
in front of, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Why did you leave it in front of the door?
Yeah.
One, like I didn't see it on me for not paying attention, but
Sure.
also if I didn't like have another way to get out, I'm gonna have to fucking scrape it along the floor anyways, like that. But it happened, and I was so fucking annoyed, and I was just like, fucking, and I just went, and it was like 1 star, dude, and I just left. I just fucking 1 starred that bitch, and I was just like, fucking go, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, damn, dude, Kang would probably be mad at me, but like, what do you think about something like that?
well, when I did it, it was before. So the leave at your door option only came after COVID. Like,
Yeah.
It was not an option before. So I had
That's
to,
right. So
I had
you-
to knock
right.
on fucking people's doors and
Yeah.
look them in the face and then see that they weren't going to tip me. So it made me extra mad. Like,
Oh damn.
that was, I kind of get that. Like, I would be like, whatever, you know.
Here you go,
maybe
cheap
I'm
ass.
Like, yeah, but like, I'd give it to them. Fine, it's all good. They're like, oh, thank you so much, cool. And then I'd get home and it'd be like 1 star, $0 tip. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? You were like smiling in my
Yeah.
face, like acting like you're fucking happy. Like I
Yeah,
gave you
yeah.
that shit. I fucking flew to your house, bro. Like, cause and at the time, it was very new in my town. Like, it wasn't very like
I
large.
mean, you
or-
were like one of like 3.5 people doing it.
yeah. So I was in there, and it wasn't like
Hire
now-
midgets. That's
now
good.
they have like everything done. Like all the restaurants are like loaded into the DoorDash system. So like you don't even like before. I had like a DoorDash card that I had to go and fucking like order the shit myself, pay for it with a preloaded like
that's
DoorDash
right.
card and everything.
Yeah.
So it was a much more involved experience. Like I kind of get if people don't tip because like now it's pretty fucking like you walk up, it's already done, it's sitting on a rack, you like scan a little code, whatever, grab it. That's fine. But like before, it was a very manual process. Like I had to
Right.
sit in the drive-through line, order their food, look at their shit. If they didn't have it, I'd have to text with them. Like it was a whole thing. So to not get tipped when you did all that extra shit, for them,
Yeah.
that was like what really
Big blow.
So it's like so then at this point it's like you're really doing nothing except picking
Like,
up the food
Yeah.
and taking it to the house. Gas money is involved at that. But like the common sense of like the chair and the door. And
I don't know.
I 1 starred that so fucking fast. I was just like I was angry because my sandwich was all fucking
I feel like I'm plagued with overthinking and like being too maybe too considerate of a person at times because I don't believe, and maybe it's partly dad's fault because we would hear that growing up all the time, is it's common sense. You know what I mean? Or I would.
Common sense ain't too common.
It's not.
It's
I
not.
don't think I think factor cap. I think common sense is cap. I think it's like it's
everybody should have common sense.
But that's the thing.
It's relative.
But
Your common
it's like-
sense-
it's like
Exactly. Your common sense to, you know, our
this
cousins.
makes me superior.
Well, that's what it is. It's an ego thing. It's an ego
It is
thing.
an ego thing.
So-
It is an ego thing, but
I-
I earned this ego because I'm not leaving fucking people's food on
Yeah,
floors
that's
for the
bullshit.
doors.
That's bullshit. That's like I mean, if you can't tell which way a door operates from looking at its frame, then like, you know, maybe
Like, who opens a fucking front door and opens a screen door inwards? Like, what?
Well, I mean, also you kind of have to give them because these motherfuckers are like busting out orders right and left.
They're
you know?
speedy,
Like,
sure.
fucking going for it. So like they're probably just laying that shit and going. Like I don't think they even like which way does the door open? I don't think that even crosses their mind. They're like, I'm trying to just get this shit, take the picture.
And honestly, and here's the way I think. Like, if it were me, that chair is so much closer to like having to take the extra step to the door and then like lean over and drop the fucking food on the
but
floor.
you don't know who's sitting in that chair. You don't know if that's the swamp ass of the house who sits in that chair. I know.
I'm gonna leave it on the chair. I like shit.
Exactly. Shit.
Or
Shit
leave it
might
on
be
the other
that
chair, but like why on the floor? Like just eating food like on the floor.
I'm lucky because of my employment, I'm able to get like a nice little extra account that like whenever I order something from the app, I get like the platinum people that are like the highest rated people. Like they never give me the fucking new people. Like so.
So he's got the people with common sense.
Yeah, all the ones that have like
you need to make a little more dough for common sense.
20,000 orders, blah blah blah. But I also, because it's free, like technically, like I don't ever really pay for it. I do give them a nice tip. Like
sure.
I hook them up because I mean I have like 500 of I gotta spend that somehow. Like it goes away, so might as well just give it. Like sometimes at the end of the month, whoever is getting my last order of the month, if I know that like I'm not gonna have enough to make another, I'll just tip them the rest of whatever I have left in my little like monthly allowance.
Yeah.
What if they did like a Uber Eats or DoorDash Wrapped like Spotify does?
Oh, my shit would be way more than everyone in this. Like I get so much Uber Eats.
But see, yours
they're
would
like
be
you
fucking
tipped
Fuego,
this
dude.
much,
oh
cheap bitch.
No, yours would be Fuego because you did like the different kinds of foods you get. Like you'd try everything.
Yeah.
Mine would be like wildflower. Like that's it. Like fucking soups and sandwiches.
I would have hella different. Like I've eaten pretty much all because I almost never just buy like McDonald's, buy Burger King, whatever. I try to get the extra shit. The only thing is now living where I live, the diversity of like what is available is not that much. Like there's a lot of just bullshit. They finally added this place, Mr. Pickles, though, and it's fire. It's like these sandwiches that are like on these fucking like ciabatta with like cheese on top. It's so good.
God damn. So I ordered today a clam chowder in a sandwich. And the driver pulls up, so I'm like, oh, like it tells me that they pulled up, so I'm like, cool. So I'm like waiting by the door, and I'm just like in underwear, so I'm like waiting for the guy to like just drop the food off and leave. And this is the weirdest thing. So he walks up, he puts the food on the chair. Thank you, guy. And then, but the way he turns around, he just walks back, and he's just like, he was just defeated, dude. Like he was just walking into his car and he's just like,
bro. It's fucking,
and he was just defeated. And I was like, man, like I gave him a 5-star, but the way he drove out, instead of just making a U-turn and driving out of my street, he put his car in reverse and just drove backwards down the whole street. And I was watching it, and because I was like, dude, I'm like just in my underwear, so I have to open my door and like I'm not trying to show myself to the world. But now he's just driving backwards, and I'm like, please fucking not be on the street anymore, because he could see me if I open my door. And he's just driving, reversing all the way down the street. And then finally he left, and I grabbed my food. But I was like,
have you ever got
interesting.
One of the people that's on like a bike or like a walker? Like we have that. I don't know how. One time though, I ordered. I can't remember where I got. It was like Habit Burger or something. But like I got the little notification. It was like, oh, so and so. It was like this Asian guy, and it was like, oh, he's on his way with your food. And I looked at it, and it was just a bicycle icon. And I was like, what the fuck? But that dude was flying. And I thought like, oh, for sure he just like signed up with a bike, doesn't have a license, and he's like, in a car or whatever. And then usually they have like the GPS thing that like tracks how fast you're going. They'll like deactivate your account if you're like on whatever. But he was actually on a bicycle. Like that motherfucker pulled up on a fixed gear, just straight Lance Armstronging it. I was like, what the fuck?
That's
and he flew, dude. So I respect some of these drivers, man. Like
I can imagine that's pretty popular in like very dense cities. I'm sure it's probably down here.
Downtown Phoenix, they do that.
Yeah.
You have walkers and whatever, and you don't need like there's a whole process behind like why people want to do that instead of drive, because like the entry to there is much less stringent. Like there's a lot of less red tape. So if you have like DUIs and shit, you can still go like walk. You can't, like, so
yeah, fair.
That's wild. Yeah, so
Super cool.
I don't know. I wanted to bring that up because the food on the floor thing kind of was just like, oh, I'm blood boiled.
But also get fucking dressed.
Yeah,
and, like use the other door. I honestly didn't realize that door even opens.
My front door.
Yeah,
and nobody uses it.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
wait, don't you have like a thing like around the side though? Like,
I have a side door.
Why you can just like walk out that one and?
Well, I mean, I know, but like at that point, like
of
I
course,
had already opened the door You know what I mean? Like thinking that they already put it on the chair. So I
Now you
wasn't
got to
really
set up a
thinking.
little camera, a
Yeah.
little fucking baby monitor,
You should
just
just
to
put a
make sure.
little
You get one of those
sign.
Nest things and be like, "Hey, put it on the chair."
You better not fucking put that right next to the.
Or just
it opens
get
out.
a little sign that's like deliveries here.
Yeah,
And then,
I've thought about that.
There are people that build like actual delivery stations
Yeah.
right outside their house, their front door. It's dope. Like spot for packages that only opens one way to drop it in, and then it secures it once it's closed, and you have to unlock it at the bottom. Like I've seen those, and then like obviously just like
What if
people-
somebody stole that whole thing?
I mean, the ones that I've seen are drilled into the concrete or
Oh,
whatever,
really?
but like
Okay.
that would suck. I mean, it's the time of year though. People are being assholes and trying to steal packages left and right now.
Speaking of packages, I have a random package that I got like an email for, and it was like, "Oh, your order's on the way." I've not ordered anything. And I just randomly got a USPS notification. It was like, "You have a package coming from Compton, California," and I thought like at first maybe it was like work sending me something or whatever. So I checked, and they're like, "No, we're not sending you shit. Like, what is this?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's like with DHL, which is like an oddball.
Yeah,
That's like,
yeah.
you know, and so. It's supposed to be there when I get back home, so I'll find out what it is. But I don't know. Maybe maybe it's a bomb. Fucking knows. Like,
Yeah, you got to be careful with those notifications. Did you get it through text or was it actual app that
it was
notified you?
USPS through
Okay.
like the informed delivery or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those spam texts though, they're like,
You have a fucking order. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've gotten a couple of those now. This one was legit. It has like a track number, everything. Like it says it's on the way. Actually, let me check the track.
You know anybody in Compton?
No, I thought at first it was some weed that I was like getting or whatever.
That's
but,
what I was thinking. Like, is this some weed or
No,
something?
it wasn't. Because I did get some of that, but that's coming like tomorrow, and it was coming from Northern California. This is in like Southern California, so I don't know.
weird.
I have this if you want to pull it up, Kenny. So, it's on the 7th. There's a lot that we're just gonna skip, and I'll just say for later. But where's right under where I put tipping, reviewing DoorDash, Uber Eats, is one. It's an Instagram link. Right there, yeah.
What this? Oh no.
Oh, whoops.
+2. If you say it's 4, that's racist. I mean, that sounds like we may be mischaracterizing it. What, if you can quickly sum it up?
No, that's not mischaracterizing it at all. Math is basically racist under this ideology because it says there is no such thing as an objective reality. So 4 might not be the right number. 2 + 2 might actually equal 5.
Quickly, so I misunderstand. Are we saying that 2 + 2, if you say it's 4, that's racist? I mean, that sounds like we may.
Let's move on.
She has a haircut of somebody who would say some shit like this, doesn't she? Like,
This is
I cannot with people like this.
Her haircut does not identify as the person who would say
Her haircut's racist.
I thought maybe it was like because have you guys seen that? Who's it? Terrence Howard, the guy from like fucking like it's hot out here for
Yeah.
like that. He
Awesome.
had some whole thing where he was like, the math they've taught you is fucking wrong, and like if you do all these things, and like he had a whole deal where like you pull out your calculator, you can do like the square root of 2, and then you multiply that. He's saying that 3 times 3 is not 9. It's like something else. It's like a whole fucking thing. But I thought that's where it was going. But this is just stupid. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I lost brain cells watching that, and I was like,
For
you guys
sure.
are gonna do. So
it's fuck you. Literally, let's move
Wait.
the fuck on. I do fantasize about the day where like aliens, touch down and they're like, "Hey, you guys have been doing this wrong." But I mean, until that day, right? Shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah. So
What?
saying, wait.
saying English words in Japanese makes it an anime move.
Oh yeah. I saw that. Oh
Fucking.
my god.
Like what words?
I don't know. Mixer.
What?
You'd be like,
Oh.
you'd be like fucking
I think that's
Uber
racist.
Eats.
Yeah, that might be more racist.
Dude, that's more racist than the math they just.
You're just adding duh.
Just adding, you're just grunting and fucking adding.
That's not saying things in Japanese. That's saying things in angry old man Japanese.
Saying English words in Japanese. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're right. I'm saying in Japanese accents.
Wild
See this
flower.
The flower. Oh no.
No.
Stop.
All right, fear. Well, let's just for reasons to mute the seats. I guess they're
Oh yeah. This was just like one of those, anger ones. But like, this lady apparently bought some seats for her and her kids on a train, or yeah, I think it was a train.
Looks like it.
Yeah, and
says the conductor may have been trying to defuse the situation, upgrading you to first class, but you have told him to move. So yeah, so you remember what the
yeah. So the old couple was like, I don't care if you bought these tickets. They were pretty much like, we're old and entitled, so we're gonna sit where we want. And the lady was like, you have to move. This is my seat for me and my kids. And like that, you see the little girl on the left. She's just glaring. She's just fucking glaring at them. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, like that's the fucking face of like a champion right there. But the conductor ended up giving them first class seats. But like entitled old folks like this, I've met so many of them, and like Lamar would probably.
Oh, just from your previous work history.
Yeah, just like having worked around old people all the time, and I even get it like at gigs and all the time too. Like I get it at gigs, like just the way they act, and just like say things, and they just think they can get away with everything, and it's just like,
of course,
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I saw that, and I'm like, just skin fucking crawling.
Yeah, there's a lot of entitlement that I have ran into the last, being employed where I'm at.
Yeah,
really? Oh yeah.
Where you're at?
With old people, or just
just entitled people in general. Some of them might be older, sure, but yeah, it's really frustrating.
But it's just a white people thing. Like, when it comes to, you know what I mean, like there's
I don't know. I've seen a lot of like people from India get a little, you know what I mean? I mean I've seen people from Canada go
Canadians
crazy. Well, yeah.
Mine is Australians. I feel like Australians, and I only say it because I used to work for Ring.
Yeah.
And when I was doing like phone calls and stuff, the shit that they would like want, they would just want the world, like the most catered experience. They're like, oh, well, it said 3-day shipping and it got here in 4. So can you give me a refund for like a portion of the money? I'm like, bro, it's an estimated shipping. Like that's
you're like, nor,
like,
I can't.
But I would go back and forth with these motherfuckers, and it's, I guess, nothing against Australia, but like y'all are some fucking, I know, like
some upside down shit going on over there, dude.
It's wild. They have very strong opinions and very like weird. They think that the world should operate a certain way, and they will be like easy to tell you about it. They'll say something about it.
No,
Let's see what this one is. I don't even remember what this is.
There's a lot of that everywhere.
Oh, bro.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Are these dudes gonna eat shit?
On your march, get set,
Oh no.
go. Wait, Goofy running there. What the nigga, you got Inspector Gadget legs. That nigga took off like Inspector Gadget.
Oh, he's so upset at that too.
What are those loafers he's wearing too?
Goofy running ass. Oh my god.
On your march.
Watch the next one though. The next one is fucking great, dude.
Who runs like that? That's wild.
Inspector Gadget.
Hey, he can run. I mean, at least.
Latinos pronounce pro wrestlers.
José, ¿cómo se llama ese luchador? Hey, ese duro, papá, Sting.
Sting.
Brian, ¿cómo se llama ese luchador? Ese John Cena. Ok, ¿quién está aquí? ¡Woo! Rick Flyer.
Liar.
Ok, Bori está aquí. Sí, yeah, brother, Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Ok, este está aquí bien duro, papi. Oh, ese bebe mucha cerveza. Sí, sí. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mira, un susto. Ok, Bori, aquí es último. Ese es la roca. Ok, pero no me reáis. Dawana Jansson.
Oh no. It sounded like you said the one-eyed Johnson for a second.
How Latino?
Yeah, this reminds me. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
So good. I love that all those videos.
Oh, right here. Here we go.
Hello,
Oh.
buenas.
Sí, buena, Brea.
Hey, ¿quién anda ahí?
Have you seen this, Kuya?
No.
Arturo, ¿de dónde,
Shit.
brother?
So good.
Estamos aquí de Saicedo.
Ah, de Salcedo. Saludos para toda mi gente de Salcedo. La gente buena del Cibao.
It's a
Brother,
DJ, they're,
cuéntamelo
like,
todo.
requesting a
Saluda a
song.
tu gente.
No, yo lo que quiero es pedir a ver si tú me pones una canción.
Can I play a
Claro que
song?
sí, mi brother, la que tú digas.
Sí, yo quiero que tú me pongas la canción que dice, ¿esos son Reebok o son Nike?
¿Esos son Reebok o son Nike?
Sí, sí.
He doesn't know the title, but
es?
this is the lyrics
¿Son
that he's
Reebok o
saying.
son Nike?
I already got it.
¿Esos son Reebok o son Nike?
A ver, compláceme, que me
No.
gusta mucho esa canción. Está muy pegada esa canción.
¿Esos son Reebok o son Nike? ¿Será esta, brother? ¿Será esta?
Esa misma, Brea, esa misma es. Esa es.
Cuídate, mi hermano.
Reebok was the night. It's the Reebok was
Are
the night.
these Reeboks or are these Nikes?
It's crazy. In other countries, they don't say the E at night. It's like
Sure.
Nike. Like in England, they're like, oh, you're Nikes. I'm like, what?
They
What
do.
they say?
Adidas.
Adidas.
Heard that one a bunch. Adidas.
Wait, do you have a preference on Nike versus Adidas?
I have more Adidas shoes. I don't even think I have a pair of Nikes at all.
Same.
But I do like Nikes. I think that they're like kind of iconic in like the fucking, you know,
The swoosh,
culture or
of
whatever.
course, yeah.
But they're a little bit. I'm not a sneakerhead, and I've been trying to like understand the sneakerhead culture, and I still don't get it. Like I'm not. I don't understand why certain ones are so expensive.
Yeah.
And like why someone would wear that. Like it's just a very like the whole Air Forces or like, you know, Nike ones, whatever. You have like so many different color combinations and like you know, Off-White does these things.
Yeah.
Like they have all these collaboration ones, and I just don't get.
Sammy was talking to me about that same thing, and he was like, "Oh, dude, check out these shoes I'm gonna get," and they're like $800, right? And he was like, "Check these." He's like, "These are like limited edition." And I was like, "Motherfucker, you are not get like. First of all, you didn't buy those shoes." He was like, "Check out these shoes I got." Like, you didn't buy those shoes. He's like, "Man," like, and I was like, "Dude, you 100% didn't buy these shoes." And he's like, "Why not buy them?" And I'm like, "One, you do not walk fucking slow enough to wear shoes like this and not scuff them.
Mm-hmm.
Two, I know that you would not wear $800 shoes out in public to the places you go.
Of course, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that whole like I tried to like get into the whole sneaker thing at one point, and I did get like some Jordans that were like really expensive, and I thought like, okay, cool, like the cool thing would be to wear them. Like the cool thing would be for me to wear them in public because people are like, oh, like those are sick. And the response I got was like, why would you wear those?
Yeah, what are you doing on the street?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like wearing these Jordans, like when you walk, I don't walk like fucking flat.
Right, you're creasing them.
They're like you're creasing them. People are like, dude, like, and I'm like, they're expensive. Like I'm gonna fucking wear them. And now I realize like sneakerheads buy these shoes but never put them on. And if they do, they literally walk like fucking Titans from Attack on Titan.
Seriously.
Like,
Yeah.
Komodo dragon
Don't
ass
wanna
fucking
crease anything.
Godzilla feet,
Yeah.
you know?
Fucking C3PO. Yeah, it's very much like people who collect like old comic book toys, cards, or anything like that. Try to keep them in like pristine mint condition. I don't partake. It's too expensive of a freaking hobby
Yeah.
for me, that's for sure. But I guess I kind of understand it when I compare it like that. But
Bobby Lee,
yeah,
he wears golden gooses. And those are the shoes that like
they don't even
look like they're
good to me.
yeah, they're all beat up. They're like beat
Yeah.
up like tennis shoes.
Yeah.
But they're worth like $600 or like something like $1,000.
Yeah, this shit,
super
this
interesting.
I'll never understand. This
Yeah.
like why someone would buy this for $600.
And he's like crazy about these. Like he just rants and raves about Golden Goose all the time.
Yeah.
It's like you have less than $100 in your bank account and you wear fucking $600 shoes. Like your priorities are fucked. Buddy.
Right.
You need to figure it out. And I get it. Like if you can afford this and it's not going to break your bank, then more power.
Yeah,
to you.
if it makes you feel good.
Most of the people that are wearing all this designer shit are poor as fuck, and it just doesn't compute.
Does this fall under ego or common sense?
This is ego. I don't even know. This is someone who can't afford an ego but has an ego.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing. There's this brand Aloe or something or whatever. It's like or Lululemon or any of those things. They're like these culture brands, you know, where people are buying them. They buy them for the clout of wearing it. They're not buying them because they're like, hey, like don't even work out and they're like buying Lululemon or they're buying like all this fucking Nike Tech and all these things just because it's like the fashion. And
Yeah. 100%.
I get it. Like I'm not a very fashionable person. I wear like fucking Goodwill shit, you know. So I have no room to talk really when it comes to like people's fashion choices. I just like the amount of money it costs, and I know like maybe it's not everybody, but I know the people that I've experienced like they are not rich people, and they're
Sure.
like talking about, oh, I'm in this much credit card debt, blah blah, and like, oh, but this fucking new Air Maxes just dropped, and I gotta cop those, or these fucking Yeezys or whatever it is. I'm like, dude, what?
Which
like,
there are some Yeezys that look fucking horrible, by the way.
What is the point? Like, is it because they want it? Like, they think they're just gonna get them laid more? Like, is it they think if they wear this, they'll be perceived as more rich or something?
Yeah, it's a status thing.
It's a status thing. I
100%
feel like,
a status thing.
Those Yeezys that look like Vecna fucking took a shit.
Yeah, it looks like someone put like shaving cream and just hardened it, and then just shoved their foot in the middle of it.
The Yeezy foam runners. These ones. I see people at work wearing these all the.
Yeah, that. Mm-hmm.
And people used to get shit for wearing Crocs, dude. I can't look at that.
Oh, that's the
It just looks like a bone with holes in it.
Ew. Sierra asked to get some of these.
No, she didn't.
Some of these.
These?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
just
hilarious.
to be funny. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But like, yeah, I mean, people, you know, whatever they think, especially in their group, right? In their like, whether it's a family status thing.
$300 for these,
dude. No way.
You get the same things over at Walmart for like.
The most I paid for a shoe was for the Adidas actual like hiking shoes, and that's like to completely protect your feet, and it's completely like waterproof, super comfortable, and they're gonna last a really long time. Like that was an investment, but like these are just.
What are we talking about? How much though?
Oh, it was maybe like $250.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an investment. It's like investing in a bed.
That on even like I bought the most recent pair of shoes I bought was from Ross for $40.
Nice.
It was some New Balances.
See, the thing is, mine like I have wide feet.
Yeah.
Extremely wide feet. So it's hard to find like a good pair of shoes that like, and it's hard to find a good fashionable pair of shoes. Like, and when I say fashionable, I mean like they just don't look like.
They were made for
like a
gorilla.
playground. You know what I mean? Like they don't look like they look like I don't know. It's hard to explain, but they look like they're just assembled by fucking.
That's why I like Adidas, because their shoes. I mean, like I have majority Adidas pairs of shoes, and they're super comfortable. I do have wide feet as well, but they fit my feet, you know, really, really well.
What
and
size,
obviously,
like, do you ever have trouble with sizes with wide feet?
I know my size, my shoe size. I wear 13s, but my feet are not size 13.
Oh, but you have to because it's wide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You find.
Do you have extra shit at the end, like your toe has all the space or whatever?
Not that much, to be honest. Yeah, but you know.
Well, do you know what the width of your feet are?
Wide.
It's about like a good like 6 inches.
I don't know.
About what 8 inches there?
That's I think 12.
It's a good 12.
That's a good foot.
Stupid.
Go back to the Discord. There's one in there that's like a relationship advice thing.
Oh shit!
I wanted to start bringing in a thing that's like, am I the asshole?
Yeah.
Those are like.
Let's dive into that.
Yeah,
'cause that's always fun, theory crafting, how I can fuck up my marriage. I mean,
all right, so
this one's actually not like.
So it says, my wife and I named our son after her first love, and I had no idea. This is my throwaway account because she doesn't know my main account. My son is 5, and about 2 days ago we were out shopping and ran into a high school friend of hers. She was catching up when she told her friend that we had a son. When the old friend asked his name, my wife hesitated, and I told her. She had a strange look on her face and then said, "You mean like your ex-boyfriend?" Our son's name is very unique to the point to where I've never met any other person with the same name. Now she refuses to talk to me, and I feel betrayed and disgusted with her. It's like a switch was flipped in my mind, and I just can't look at her the same way.
One, what kind of friend brings that up?
Also, this person's name is Bill Nye's Inner Thigh.
Well, the friend didn't know, right? The friend didn't know.
Yeah.
No, the friend knew.
Why they just say, oh, like your ex.
Yeah, like,
oh,
why would you live like your ex-boyfriend? Like,
that's true.
That's kind of a
true.
shitty friend.
Not that great of a friend, or not that.
I ran into a high school friend of theirs.
Yeah.
Even like, I kind of feel like, again, this falls under common sense. Like, maybe it's just the way I think it's just like, I'm not gonna just go dive into something like that.
There are some dense ass people out there, though. So I mean,
yeah, you're right. There are.
But also, high school friend. I mean, how many times do we hear about like high school friends or people, acquaintances even, and then they're like, oh, this person looks like they're doing a little better than me. You know what I mean? Like they build this like scenario that, oh, she or he thinks they're better than me because they're doing.
So they
this
try
and
and
that.
ruin their
Exactly. So like, oh, if I'm ever in a conversation, I'm gonna see what I can do with that. You know, make it a little more hectic for them.
But I guess the main theory about this is like, does this guy have a reason? Is this a legitimate reason to be mad?
I don't know. Well, I don't have any kids, but Vince, as the only person with kids, what if your wife would have named your child like Axolotl or something, and then all of a sudden it came out that Axolotl was her fucking first love in high school? Like, would that have fucked you up a little bit?
No,
No?
not at all. I mean, I would like, first of all, you have to dig deeper into what this is. It sucks because they specifically say the wife no longer wants to talk to me about it. That's where I would try to find out why did you want to name our kid that?
Yeah.
Like, was this person a really great person? Was this person super kind? Was this person like really talented? One of the smartest people you know? You know what I mean?
He is. He's literally one of the most. You're too considerate.
That's,
He's
yeah.
too fucking
What if? Okay, so say she was like, finally, I'll just tell you, he used to blow my fucking back out. Like, you know what I mean? What if she said that?
Hey, I'm considerate as fuck because guess what? Guess what? My son's gonna have the fucking best dick in the game. I guess I don't fucking know. Like that's there's no point in letting something. If you actually care for this person and you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, and you've created life together, then there's no point in having this little petty bullshit.
But if that person also wanted to have that life with you, they would have said that in the beginning.
True, but that's something that you work out after the fact, and she's refusing to work it out. That's the main problem. You could work through anything if you're willing to talk to it, be truthful and transparent. Yeah, in the past, you obviously weren't transparent about the reason why you named our son this, or we named our son this. But we can talk through it, and we can come to some understanding or common ground, or maybe we can start calling them by their middle name or something. You know what I mean? Like there's always some
middle name is like something else. It's like,
yeah, well, about that,
Maxwell,
Tyrone.
What about Tyrone? Is that okay?
She's like,
that's my second love in high school. He also used to blow my back out.
Come here, Axolotl horsecock. Fuck, we can't call him anything.
I think, yeah, maybe it is more of like a communication breakdown.
Yeah.
I mean, but like, I do think that the guy has there is a bit of credence to being,
he's valid for like being
100%. Yeah, not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings. Obviously, like being hurt is hurt. Like there's no way around that.
But also, fuck the friend.
Fuck the friend, quote unquote, because I don't think someone who's like regularly in your life would bring something up like that.
Now think about it this way. Is it fuck the friend, or is it like, hey, that friend did them a favor because she could be hiding other shit?
I mean,
what if this leads down a fucking rabbit hole?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, but that's you gotta have trust, man. But like the thing is, everybody. Yeah. My whole thing with this is like people acting like, and maybe it's kind of going back to like the origin of like the anxiety around it, but people always act as if whenever you get with someone that they've never been with someone before, like, and they're like, oh, this is the only thing. Like maybe this is kind of an extreme example of someone like naming a fucking ex or whatever.
Sure.
But it like breeds off of that like jealousy thing,
Of course.
Whatever. And that whole thing is like, man, what do you fucking think, that people are virgins when you meet them? Like,
yeah.
When we're all adults, like obviously you've been with other people, like it's kind of weird to name your kid after those people. But
see, and that right there is like, that's not. It's let's get this right. This is our child. what you did was you named this child something that you wanted to name this child
Sure.
for your own
Whatever
reason.
Right.
Not because I also thought the name Horsecock was a great idea.
You're stupid as fuck.
You know what I mean? Like Axolotl was, it just sounds like it was a very selfish reason.
Yeah, then it is in the moment.
Mhm.
I think the fact that you weren't willing to be transparent with the reason behind it makes it 100% selfish.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't know. There are literally people who are like, we're not telling anyone the name. You know what I mean? We want to keep the name hidden because we don't want someone to like copy it or like give us reasons not to name the. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna name, I'm gonna name my kid It's a Secret.
What's your name? It's a secret.
What's your child's name? It's a secret. For the longest time.
mean,
until you hear them call him, hey,
yeah,
Itsy.
Do you guys have 4 names, both of you?
4 names?
4 like.
Was it because we're like the size of 2 people? We get double the.
I mean, I was gonna say because of like the Mexican, but like
No. Like sometimes like Filipinos have like
De la
John,
Cruz,
and then there's like Efren.
Mm-hmm.
I have 4. I don't know why my parents did me like that because they. Well, no, they.
Oh wait, you're talking about like 4 names.
4 names in your name, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You do have 4 names.
Yeah, I'm fucking out here like a Latin boy, dude.
No, we just got the 3.
Yeah, we just have first, middle,
And
and
last.
last. Uh-huh.
What do you have? First, middle, last, or first, middle, last?
Or do you have first?
I've done it as first, middle, last.
Oh, okay.
It's
really?
like 2 middle names. Basically, one of my names is like one of my grandfathers, and then the other one is, I don't know if it's like a grandfather or something, but they're all like the names of them, but like in my name.
What about if you do it first?
I mean,
middle?
it would be sick to have a couple of my names as like my first name. If I could just swap them, be like, hey, I'm going by this today.
I mean, you could. This fucker changes his name every week.
Transnamal, dude.
That is true, actually.
You could. My biggest thing is like when your last name is also a first name, I get really. I'm like, no, you have to have
You got
a
2
last
first
name.
names.
Yeah, you have to have a last name. Like, I think our last names are pretty solid last names. But
Rodriguez.
if it's a first, if it's a first name as your last name, you're data incomplete.
First name as a last name, like
No, last name is a first name.
if your last name is your first name.
No, for people like Timothy Stewart. Those are 2 first names.
Oh yeah.
Billy John.
I thought it was like Johnson Jackson.
Johnson Jackson. That's a football player, dude. Johnson Jackson.
Marquevius Kool-Aid.
Okay, this is becoming a very racial episode.
That's a fucking Key and Peele.
I know.
God, Key and Peele. shit,
The
dude,
dolphin
so
noise
funny.
one. Johnson.
Oh man. Dude.
I like that though. The am I the asshole? Like, I'm down to start searching for some good topics on that because I mean, if you guys can get behind my super considerate ass, quit fucking putting the mouse in that space, dude.
Look at that right there.
If you change the mouse to just like a floating tooth,
A tooth and just put it there.
There you
Pop
go.
it
There's
out.
another one for you. I posted this one.
yeah, I'm so down for like segments like this, like relationship advice or.
Okay, so my son's 3rd grade teacher taught my son that 1 divided by 0 is 0. Here's one of those racist math questions. I wrote her an email to tell her that it is not 0. She then doubled down and CC'd the principal. The principal responded saying that the teacher is correct. What do I do now? To be honest, I'm mildly infuriated, but I'm wondering if I'm just overreacting. Should I stop fighting this battle?
No.
That 1 divided by 0 is not 0?
Yeah.
What is it?
1.
1 divided by is. I thought it was.
If you have 1 and you divide it by nothing, it's still 1.
Let's ask Apple.
Hang on.
Air.
I'm trying to. It says can't divide by 0.
Yeah, I think you just can't divide by 0 though. Like it's. I don't know if it is 0 1. I think it's just like you can't divide by 0. It's like breaking the atom.
So is there an answer or is there not an answer?
Well,
Is the teacher right or is the parent right?
I mean, if you're trying to put a value to nothing, it would be 0, right?
What do you mean?
Like this. Like it literally says can't divide by 0. So like the answer would be nothing. There's no answer.
It's just like
If you try to put a value to nothing, a no answer, wouldn't that equate to 0?
That would just be no answer. Is it 0 or is it just words?
But I'm saying like you're putting things into the matrix now, right? Because this is what math is essentially.
Because I feel like 0 and no answer are two different things.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
But also by this logic.
Okay, if a doctor
By
asks
this
you,
logic, 1 times 0 is 1?
1 times 0?
What?
No,
because then your multiplication is different than division, though. Like, so if you're multiplying 1 by 0, then you get 1.
Yeah.
But if you're dividing 1 by 0, so if you're taking this 1 that's there, right? If I take this 1 water bottle and I try to cut it up into 0 pieces, that's like
okay. How about
you're not cutting anything?
How many sexual partners have you had this year?
That's all I was
okay.
thinking.
If you is none and 0 different?
No answer.
Like you said? Pass.
There's literally two different.
How many
answers.
maidens have you had? Is it none or 0?
Oh damn! You shot that across the. Do you need that?
No.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Like when you're putting a value to the term nothing or none or
No.
zilch, nada.
Okay, but
it's
if you
0.
listen to it, okay.
In what language?
I have 1 bottle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I divide the bottle by bottle's still here.
By 0. So you're not dividing the bottle.
But
So
yeah, there's no division
it's
happening.
0. Like
There's no division happening. The bottle
The
is
answer was the bottle.
Ansel?
Answer is the bottle's here.
Ancelotl.
It's what? It's 1.
it's
No,
not what.
but it's
bro, this you need to go to this teacher's fucking class, bro.
But the answer's not 0 though.
I mean, I guess yeah. Okay, in that way you are right, but it's not 0 either. You know what I mean? It's like
there is
Schrodinger's number. Like it's 0 and not 0 at the same time until you look at what it is.
Yeah, for there to be like, is there any division equation where, I guess it's 1 divided by 1 would be 1, right?
1 divided by 1. Yeah, I think right. Yeah.
Right. 1 divided by 1 is 1. That's the only equation where it stays 1. Because division, like for division, like you said, if you're dividing it at some
So
type of
4,783 divided by 0 is 0.
you can't divide by 0. There's
yeah.
like there's no.
So then the answer is not 0. The answer is nah.
I think our terms are just completely different here. Like
the answer can't be 0 because 0 is a definitive answer.
Well, it's technically a placeholder in math. Like it's not like a real thing. It's just like
Okay, but if we're talking multiplication, it's still an answer though, right?
well, that's because multiplication is a completely different.
But I'm saying though, it's an answer.
it's. I mean, oh yes. We'll.
So no answer is like
is
I
like
see.
0.
I think it's still. I think they're the same.
incompatible.
I think they're the same.
I think I think that like 0. The easiest way to explain to a fucking 3rd grader would be 0 versus like trying to get into the semantics of whether 0 is nothing and nothing is 0. Like it's 0, bitch. Let's move on and fucking do your flashcards. You know?
Yeah.
I feel like they're setting up that 3rd grader for failure.
When have you ever had to divide by 0?
Exactly. Why is the teacher telling him to divide by 0 in the first place?
I don't know. So are they overreacting?
Yes.
By
it's fucking math. Like,
I mean, do you think that emailing or okay, maybe what the parent is in the right, but is the teacher wrong
Possibly.
for saying like, oh no, it actually is 0. Let me loop the principal in on this.
no,
No,
they're not wrong at all because they're following their curriculum. The teacher's not personally deciding that this is what they're teaching 9 times out of 10. I guess maybe there might be one teacher out there who's like, I don't care about the curriculum. I'm going to do whatever I want. But majority of the time, teachers are just following what they are told to teach. The district decides what the curriculum is for each individual school and district and so on and so forth. The teachers don't have a say.
So if the district said the answer was 2, that's what they'd have to say.
I mean, yeah, but obviously there are checks and balances as far as how they get to whatever information is supposed to be fed to our youth. You know what I mean? But the teacher's not in the wrong at all. They're simply doing their job. I think the parent should teach their child that you fake it till you make it, bitch. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna you can't go out and you're gonna be so exhausted at the end of your day if you're calling bullshit on everything you think is bullshit. You're not gonna be able to survive and have a career unless you're building your own business based off of calling people's bullshit out. You know what I mean? You have to fake it till you make it. This is a prime example. Like you teach your kid to have some stone skin a little bit and just be like, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna move on. I'm just fucking deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No answer.
0.
No, and 0. Yeah. That's
No answer.
So how many people have you slept with this year?
yeah.
This is your dirty sheets wrapped
This is,
for the 2023.
Why are you using that many fingers? That's just straight
I'm
lies.
divided by 0, dude.
Oh, okay.
How many people?
Your hand? Fucking
Pamela.
Pamela?
Hand Solo. Jill.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, just because Jill.
Oh, you're dumb.
That's
Dumb.
bruh.
Yeah, I like these though. I mean,
Yeah, I'm gonna
always-
do more of these. Send if you
Yep.
find some, send it.
Faux
Because
show.
it's a good conversation piece, but I think that we can end on that.
really, how long are we at?
An hour 7.
107.
And it's yeah, the whole dude, Krishon, I can't even.
Is that how you say?
Is it Krishon?
Krishan.
I don't
Christian?
even know.
Look at her.
Are we?
I'm not talking about this because
No, not about that.
oh yeah.
Schedule of release.
Yeah, so as you guys can tell, we have missed a week, but we are going to be moving releases for these episodes, which they're going to find out this week from last episode that it's a new. You'll find out. No answer. All right, guys?
0.
The answer is
Divided by
0.
schedule.
Changing the schedule.
We're
Just
changing
a little
the
bit.
schedule a
You'll
little bit.
obviously notice it. But yeah, just wanted to.
The release schedule is changing, but the content is
Divided by 0.
divided by 0.
0.
And
Keep liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting.
yeah,
Thank you so much.
and also do us a favor, guys. If you can just
Wow.
Just divide by 0.
That's
like you said, like, comment, subscribe, do all that, share it. We're about to hit the 100 people on YouTube.
Yeah.
100 subscribers on YouTube. I'm not sure what the Spotify metrics and stuff are at, but all I know is that it's growing and our space is growing, and hopefully within the near future we'll be in a different space or something. But until we can make that happen, we as a community want to grow. So the Nakolites,
we need money. Give us money.
yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is just donate to our PayPal.
Yes.
Subscribe to my
like that?
OnlyFans. I mean,
Hi Nakolites.
sure.
That sounds culty, but I like
It
it.
does sound a little culty, doesn't it? But all right, guys. Well, on the count of 3, we're gonna end it, and we'll give it a go. 1, 2, 3.
Ay, nako!